Hello everyone, Calpez here, and today we're back with another episode of Is It Livable? The series where we investigate towns and follow New Vegas to see how they would stack up in an actual post-apocalypse situation. Today we're doing the one and only Hidden Valley Bunker, or the Brotherhood Bunker as I like to call it. Now if you don't know, we're just gonna simply inspect the bunker, see how realistic it actually is, the crops, jobs, population, that sort of stuff. And there's some sort of a rat scorpion, yeah, glitching to the ground. At least you can tell this is New Vegas. So yeah, we're gonna inspect the outside first before we get into the actual good stuff. We gotta see what's around it. And obviously it's a Hidden Valley bunker, so it's in a valley. Yeah, so there's no need to explain that. There's Cass and Eddie over there. No, there isn't really anything interesting outside. There's obviously the three other bunkers, but they're all destroyed, so it's like you can't even use them for much besides some storage. There's nothing major around Hidden Valley. There's Black Mountain right here and Sloan, some powder ganger stuff, but that's about it. But the only thing around here is just some bark scorpions, which might be a pain, but nothing too major. So here we're at the entrance. There's a bunch of I assume this is to deter away people from coming into here. I don't know how, but yeah. Let's go in here. I think Hidden Valley actually is based off a real place. Well, I wouldn't be surprised. A lot of the places in New Vegas are. So, first off, the great the fence. It's gonna be hard to get in. Well, okay, it is. I could get in, and I didn't need like a key or anything, but it's at least the animals can get in. At least they could open doors, which I imagine they can't. Well, okay, you never know. It's New Vegas. Here's the first room. Nothing major, just some shipping containers and some scrap barrels in the corner. And, okay, this door is usually locked, so this is the real entrance. And I wonder how difficult these will actually be getting in real life. These are some thinnish doors, so I imagine some dynamite could probably do the job. But and I feel like most scavengers would go through the hassle. It's a pre-war bunker. There's gonna be some good loot in here. We got two barricades, for the Brotherhood to go in, defend, and we have the door. I always wondered why they made the doors like this. It's a weird shape, in my opinion. But let's go in here. Now this is where the actual good stuff starts. So we got some more staircase. We're pretty deep down, I say so. Get some. There we go. Some little crate over here. We have the security office cabinet. There's Ramos, terminal, desk with two chairs, and nothing major. It's a nice little security office, I guess. Can you close the door? I guess you can. Okay, now let's go. Now this should be shorter than most episodes. There isn't much stuff to explore, but I'm not saying that's a bad thing. And you can't go in this door. I imagine this leads into the other bunkers. Which, it sucks, they lost a lot of space, If I were to forced to be lived in the bunker, I would at least want some room to walk around in. But, well. Okay, we have some. First thing we notice is a bedroom over here. We have a lot of space. How much this is? 5. So this is 10 beds. A bunch of lockers over here. Excuse me, I have some mucus in my throat. I've never seen a bunker like this in any other game, really. It's like, the floor lift high, the dark atmosphere. It's really unique. I don't feel like people talk about Hidden Valley Bunker enough in terms of aesthetics. At least the areas of the internet I go in. But anyways, okay. So we have a small medical area. Over here we have a operating table. This is probably one of the best, medical centers in the entire Mojave. Most people just gotta live off pre-war stem packs. We have the senior scribe. So already we know the Burke has a pretty good medical care, which is a luxury in a post-apocalypse situation. We have another thing, obviously, is the fact that everyone's heavily armored and trained. Even the scribes have a power fist. So defense. I imagine would be a big problem if say scavengers do come in, and obviously we have turrets over here. So So unless you are like the courier or the NCR, I don't think you're gonna make it far into the bunker. You know, we know the NCR did win and destroy most of the, well, not destroy, took over most of the bunkers in California. So but I usually prefer them. You know, the NCR and Brohood. I prefer them. My ending is when they side together. That's what I usually do. Unless I get a little table over here. In the shooting range, since you're gonna live in the bunker, it's nice to have a little area to train, especially since you won't be getting a lot of outside combat. Nice. Over here we got the armory, Taurus. We have a lot of stuff. A lot of guns, a lot of laser, a lot of power armor. All this is probably be worth a lot of caps. You know, power armor is pretty rare. Although you do need power armor training to use it, at least in these games. Okay, let's go. More turrets over here. It's nice. Like I said, as soon as someone gets down there, they're almost guaranteed to die from these two turrets alone. You need like a rocket launcher to get rid of those. Looks like this is broken, beyond repair in my opinion. I wonder what that's for. Could be very bad. But okay, here we have the cafeteria, 2 fridges, and a little water fountain. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's about 12 seats. 12 people could sit here. Broken up trash can, a little tinted. So communal eating. One thing I noticed about the Brohood bunker is that everything's pretty communal. Like there's no let's go back to the bedroom for example. There's no privacy really. If you if you sleep with anyone, there's nothing. You can't really hide anything. It must be kind of hell. Sleeping with 9 other people. I mean, a lot of people do that in real life, but like there's no space. Like you just gotta. Like most people sleep in like double beds or bunk beds, but no, just like right next to each other. I mean, you got a locker and everything, but yeah, pretty more. But if you want to like wank off or just sleep without someone snoring, it's gonna be pretty hell, I imagine. But let's go on. Got another bedroom. So this one's a bit smaller. I imagine they repurposed a lot of these rooms from the original bunker. But then again, I wasn't. I could see people living here, like pre-war. Okay, then there's just one thing the Upper has above most settlements is as the a school. Obviously there isn't any kids from what you see, so I imagine this is like military training, like power training, that stuff. But still, this is pretty essential. Although that's the thing about the Brotherhood. They're pretty closed off, so it's kind of like a double-edged sword. Well, everybody is experienced and highly trained. That means once they die, that's one less person. Well, in the NCR, if someone dies, it can be quickly replaced. While the NCR, once they're done, they're done. So it's quality over quantity, which is why they lost the war against the NCR. The NCR just could raise a new platoon every time they lost one. So it's an interesting thought. Here. But yeah, it's a nice type of school. Now originally I always got lost in the Brotherhood bunker, but after once I started doing this video, I actually know the layout pretty well now. Yeah. Okay, we got a bathroom. Is this the males or the females? I don't know. No, they don't have any urinals. But hey, they have running water. Which in a bunker you would want. But and let's see, no radiation. So they have some sort of water purifier over here. They have hand dryers, trash can. So yeah, the Brotherhood are living it well, like well enough. Obviously, they're still kind of screwed, but at least they're gonna die. And comfort, I guess. Because I do wonder, like, if nothing, like the NC or the Legion were never to attack the Brotherhood would happen to them. You know, eventually they would die out from either inbreeding or just not having any members. Okay, but let's explore the lower floors now. We have another bed. Yeah, I feel like there's way too many beds for like all the Brotherhood. You know, I feel like there isn't many members left after the Battle of Helios 1. I think about half of them died. Although I can't exactly remember. Okay, so this room is empty. I imagine it could be used for storage. Although, you know, you never see all the pre-war technology they actually own. You know, that's their whole stick. But you know, you never see it, so it'd be kind of cool to see a room just random junk and knickknack. Okay, empty in the room, and this is the room for the armory. Yeah. Oh, you could just look at that. I could just go in here. There's not even like anything over here. If I wanted, I could still buy one. You know, is there anything over here? Inaccessible. So yeah, that's pretty worrying. Like, yeah, obviously, like, there's a little thing over here, but anyone just could go underneath and sneak in. Hell, they could just, there's no bars, so someone just could shoot her and go in here and quickly take stuff. I mean, it's not likely to happen, but it would be better if there was like a lock on here at least. Ooh. Ugh, got some mucus in my throat. Is there anything over here? There we go. More beds. So I imagine these were oh, okay, I kind of see why they have so many beds, you know. I think they got this bunker before the Battle of Helios 1, so there was probably a lot more members. So yeah, I could see it. Most of these beds are empty, though. I imagine no one's sleeping in them. We have a private room. This is where I imagine like higher up like scrubs and scribes. That's what I meant to say, scribes. And paladins sleep. You got your own personal PC. Well, I mean, you got a bunkmate, but you know, it could be worse, I guess. So, I can't close it, but I got some little trash over there. One thing I noticed is this bunker's immaculately clean, which, you know, makes sense. They got nothing else to do all day, and just it's the Brotherhood. You know, they're military. They gotta keep things clean, keep things professional. Okay, we got another private room. Someone here sleeps alone. A lot of terminals. So I imagine this is where the head like terminal technician sleeps at. Only it would make sense. Unless that person just really likes terminals for some reason. Another room over here. Private room. Like I said, I imagine it's where the locals, the higher up members sleep at. This person gets their own room, like privacy. You know, they got their PC. You know, this is the ideal space to own in a bunker, which is pretty communal. Anything over here? Okay, we're looped back, and let's go to the second layer. One thing I do notice about the Brotherhood bunker is that in fact there is no crops. Everything they get is from trading, and we don't know where they get the water from. But yeah, they confirm everything they get is from trading, which is, you know, it could go bad very fast. You know, if they lose their trading for say a day or a month, they could all starve. So they have enough room to repurpose a couple of these into bionicle gardens. And you know, I don't know where they get their water from. I assume it's from trading too. Although we do know they have indoor plumbing, so I imagine they do have some purifying system we just don't see. But anyways, we're in the second floor. This is where all the important people hang out. We got some guards. We have a Necromero. Got a map. I think this map is like a beta map. You got the NCR. You got the fort. Yeah, all that stuff. You got a little podium. Weird place to put a podium, in my opinion. Okay, let's just go over here. Okay, here's where all the head guys sleep at. Power armor, sledgehammer. I wonder whose room this is. There's Harden. A lot of paper on the ground. What a sad place to eat. You know, just stare at a wall. What you eat, you're like, your slop. I imagine they aren't eating. They're mostly probably eating like pre-packaged food. I imagine. I assume this is Namero's room. It's the biggest of the three, and you know, elevator guys to have the biggest of them. So yeah, you know, like this door is also unlocked. No locks or anything, so anyone could just sneak in there. Even I would imagine they would have a lot of more security. Well, they have a lot of security, but like more locked doors. Anyway, this is where all the scribes go. I always found this room confusing. Like, you know, I hated the mini game you had to do where you had to undo the viruses, but I was able to do it in the end. Anyways, is there anything over here?
How may I assist you?
Okay, yeah, just a bunch of terminals. This is where this is what I imagine is where they keep the bulk of their like technical stuff on PC. So very valuable information here. Is it a good idea to keep it into one place? I don't know. Okay. Here we have the generator. This is the and we have a bunch of I imagine this would do simulation trainings. Yeah, I could see it. You know, if you're gonna be trapped in the bunker all day, you gotta. This would be useful. You know, I'm shocked the Brotherhood were the only people to find this bunker, or well, maybe they weren't. And they just kicked out the previous occupation. This is the science room over here. We have some drill bits. We have some computers over here. A lot of scrap. A lot of chemicals over here. Nothing major going on here. I am sorry if it sounds a little bit uncoordinated. There isn't exactly much of the Brotherhood bunker to explore, so. But yeah, that's about it for the second floor. No, that's really about it for the Brotherhood bunker. That was a fast episode. I know it was gonna be short, but I didn't think it was gonna be this short. But I guess we will get to the other section soon. Is there any closing thoughts? You know, not really. The Brotherhood are clean. They're militaristic in terms of like everyone sleeps together, train together, that type of stuff. Not shocked. These are probably one of the best places to live in the home Mojave. Everyone usually lives in like shacks, so it's kind of shocking to see actual civilization. Well, you know, civilization that like pre-war civilization. But yeah, that's about it. So we'll go to the graphics section, or the graphene section. Yeah, whatever. So yeah, when we get there. Okay, here we are at the analytic part of the video, where we'll be looking at the overall information we got from the settlement. Now, obviously, here are the scores. We will cite one of the scores at the end of this section. Look at them really quick. Not pretty explainable. And let's go on to the section. First, we have the pros. I always go with the pros first. The first thing I noticed about Hidden Valley is that it's one of the most heavily defended areas in the Mojave. You know, it's first of all, it's in the bunker, so it's already has a plus for that. Everyone is wearing armor, you know, power armor, has laser weapons. There's defense, there's just turrets. There's a lot of stuff you have to get through if you want to get through, if you want to take with the bunker. And unless you're the NCR or, you know, Mr. House, maybe the Legion, I don't think you have a chance of doing it. Another thing I noticed is clean water. From what we could tell, you know, the water you could drink from the toilets, the sinks is clean. It has no radiation. So they already have a plus in that. You know, they are the Brotherhood. I imagine over the years they would at least get their hands on some technology that would purify water. You know, or else, you know, their whole ideology would be kind of mute. Another thing I noticed is the good education. Like I said before, when that part of the video, it's like everyone is getting the good education, and since they in the bunker all day, I imagine they'll probably train every day, and that includes, you know, reading books and learn history of how they got there, and the history is not to be repeated by their forefathers. Where they learn from their mistakes or not, I'll leave that up to you. Fourth, not a lot, but they do surprisingly have a lot of space for a little bunker. It's more than I thought it originally had. Like I said, you aren't exactly going to be running marathons in there, but you will. You could get around. You could like go to a different room and get privacy. Well, not that much privacy, but what I'm saying is there's space to do stuff, and there's some unoccupied areas even, which makes sense. There isn't too many people living in the bunker, so it's understandable. The last thing I noticed was no unemployment, or at least I think everyone has is. The last thing I noticed was low unemployment. In fact, I'm pretty sure everybody is employed in some sort of way. Obviously, with the situation they have, everyone has to kind of be helping out. Where it's working, patrolling, all that stuff. You can't exactly laze around and not do anything. It's life or death for the Brotherhood in this case. So yeah, everyone has a job. What do I do? I wonder how much free time they have off them. Being a military society, I imagine most of your time is training or fighting. For this case, the training for the Brotherhood. But yeah, these are the main pros I see with the Brotherhood, or Hidden Valley, I guess. But they're one and the same, I guess. There isn't exactly any other Brotherhood preference, but let's go on to the cons. There's just as many cons, only one less from the pros, and whether they're worse or not, I'll leave that up to you. But the first con I noticed was low population, or more accurate say is undiverse population. With other cities like Good Springs, everyone could come in and move out as they please. A diverse set of people could come in, do stuff. But with Hidden Valley, the Brotherhood, what their biggest flaw from the first two games is their stagnation. It's a very secretive society. You're born into it, so eventually, if the Brotherhood just keep going the way they are, they're eventually going to die out, or else they're gonna have to inbreed. But we know they do let people in. That you could join the Brotherhood if you're a courier. But I don't see it being enough to the point where they could replenish numbers. Let's say there's an attack, or a lot of their patrols get lost. Sooner they're gonna dwindle and dwindle. And like I said, they're all highly trained. It's quality over quantity, but at the same time, so that means everybody is an asset. And once they lose that asset, it's gonna be a big blow to morale and longevity to their chapter. So unless they start opening up their relationships and it's a double-edged sword. They gain more population and higher set of skills, but every one of those skills are going to be, or people in this case, are going to be slightly lower quality every time they incept a new member. More resources have to be divided to this new person, so it's a balance act. I could kind of see why they do it, but I don't think it's worth it. One thing I have noticed is, like I said, one of my biggest problems is they get all their food from trading. There's no section to the bunker dedicated to agriculture, which there are empty spaces in the bunker. I could definitely see them doing it. They have pure water. I definitely could see them having like seed packets, maybe like the scribes could dig something up, or just gain something from one of the nearby settlements. Let's say they get trapped off from the all the trading posts, the 188 for like a month or two. Well, they're just gonna have to starve or ration their food out, and since they have, they're very isolated. If the NCR or someone takes over, there isn't really much to trade with. If they make enemies with them, that's one less trading spot, and there isn't very many people nearby. So this could be a big problem, very fast. And another thing, since they're gonna go out, they're gonna have to deal with the bark scorpions nearby. It's not that big of a deal, but it's still a hassle. There's scorpion gulch nearby. There's a lot of scorpions there. I could definitely see at least somebody getting stung, or at least just losing ammo. It'd be a hassle. Whether or not to take out the scorpions, I think they should, but though I don't know how that would affect the local, not economy, but the environment. Someone might rely on those scorpions, but I don't think the Brotherhood is going to care about that. Fourth, no relationship with neighbors. Like I said, besides the 188, they really just keep to themselves. Besides Veronica, that's it. Everyone else just stays in the bunker and does nothing. No building up alliances, no building up trade routes or anything. And if they get cut off, they're cut off. The NCR, they're going out of their way to make alliances with the free side, the boomers, and they exchange technology. They exchange secrets, stuff like that. And if they could help each other when in need. And one thing, like, best example of this is at the end of the game where you second battle of Hoover Dam. With the Brotherhood, you don't have any of that. There's no love to each other from any faction to them or them to any other faction, besides monetary. So I can see that being a very big problem. Speaking of neighbors, their biggest problem I see so far, like immediate problem, is the submarine problem at Black Mountain nearby. That could stop trading or just kill some of their paladins nearby. The super minions, Tabitha is not exactly very sane, stable. She could, have them charge Hidden Valley maybe, or just they're a nuisance in general. Well, no, I don't want to say they're a nuisance. I like super minions, but you know what I mean. And obviously there is a quest where we deal with them. And best of case scenario, they just move to Jacobstown. But I can see that being a nuisance or thorn on their side, from scaring away traders or blocking them from getting back from the traders. That's the cons. Let's go into more specific detail about each of them. Okay, let's get to population. In total, I count. Okay, let's get on to population. It took me a little bit, and it was a really pain in the ass, but I think I was able to count everyone. I hopefully counted everyone. I may have missed a person or two, but I think I got it. In total, I counted 22 men, 10 women, 0 non-humans for a total population of 32 people. That's a lot more than I thought there was going to be. Most of them are just, unnamed NPCs, but 32, that's a decent population for the Brotherhood. I think that's that's pretty big. But yeah, I was shocked though. There was almost half as much as men as there's women. I thought it was gonna be, like I said before, I thought it was gonna be a decent balance. Also, I was shocked there wasn't any robots in the bunker. I at least expected one Eyebot or one Protectron in there, but we don't see any. So yeah, 32 people. I could see that like at best another generation or two of Brotherhood people before they're gonna have to. The family tree is gonna start looking more like a bush or a weed, I guess. I don't know which one. Also, while everyone may have power training and stuff, I don't see them lasting against bigger factions such as the NCR if they ever decide to assault or the Legion. Like I said, every one of these people that dies is that's a big cut to the Brotherhood. But yeah, that's the population. Let's go on to agriculture and irrigation. Now this is gonna be pretty short. Like I said, I didn't count any crop fields together from trading, and I couldn't tell where they got their water from. I couldn't see like any water purification plants or anything like that. So I will count it as 0. I put a question mark here. I guess I didn't. But yeah, there's definitely something there, but I couldn't find it. If I find it, if there is one, just put it in the comments. But next one, structures. So this was a little difficult to count, but in total, I counted all this. I counted the top floors and bottom floors as their own separate things. So yeah, that's why it seems there's a lot more than there is. I counted individual rooms too as housing stuff. In total, I counted 7 being used for commercial use. The medical station, the armory, that type of stuff, and I counted the gigantic room under the shooting ranges. It's also commercial. As the rest of the unused rooms are just meant for living spaces. And they could probably do something with this, like, agricultural, storage, a lot of stuff. It's very big. For housing, I counted 11 rooms. I counted, all the individual rooms as well as the shared quarters. You know, the small rooms and the ones where everyone sleeps together. A lot more than I thought there was gonna be. Two of them are unused. These are the two smaller ones I saw, and none of them were in ruins. I'm not gonna count those two doors you can't access because we don't know what's in there. We don't know if it's crumbled or those doors are just shut. So I'm not gonna count those. Overall, pretty good. You know, like I said, there's a lot more space in the Brotherhood bunker than I thought there was gonna be. Next up, nearby neighbors. We already went over the Black Mountain, but you know, it could be a big trouble. The one neighbor we have is the Sloan. It's nearby right here, right there, just right across the road. We have some powder gangers nearby right here, and we have the correctional facility. I like, don't get me wrong, it could be a thorn, but you know, imagine power armored soldiers are gonna be do better than some thugs with TNT. You know, we have a Helios 1. It's not on a map, but it's right over here next to the Rev contest site. Obviously, you know, that Helios 1 is like a big thing with the Brotherhood. They could take it back, but I don't see it happening. The NCR has control over that. And, you know, like I said, they have Black Mountain. There's... should I have put 188 train post? It's not nearby, but I guess Veronica's there. That's where they get all their supplies from, we could tell. Oh, well, you know. There it is. Okay, overall, complacent. I put complacent as my scar. Why? Because they're not really comfortable in there. You know, they always got to be doing something. And, you know, being a militaristic society, they can't exactly just slouch around. They always have to be training or patrolling for technology. So yeah, not comfortable, but compared to most places, it's a really nice place to live in. You get clean water, fresh food. Well, not fresh food, but I meant fresh water. Food's probably the stale. You're just crops from the overworld. It has a decent population, like I said, 32 people is all. For most settlements, that's good, but for the Brotherhood, it's good, but like from their West Coast, you know, the California chapters or the East Coast chapters, it isn't really that much. Then again, they're in a science faction, so you know it's what you expect. For me, the Brotherhood has a stagnant future. I don't see them changing much, unless you know, obviously, the Courier could change their fate. But if the Courier never came, they would just keep. You know, nothing would change. You know, Veronica, she tries, but nothing happens. Numero is too stubborn in his ways, unless the Courier changes his ways. So I see them just slowly dying off. You know, award potential. They have potential. They could become a really good faction, but at the same time, unless pushed there, I see them just slowly dying off within the next 100 years. You know, assuming nothing major happens in the Mojave, which will happen, but I assume will happen, but you know, you never know. And yeah, that's my analysis of the Brotherhood. A little bit more unscripted than my last video, but I hope you enjoyed it. I had fun making this, and I plan on making some other types of videos, New Vegas theme, but you know, that's about it. Thanks.